I'm Dave Mowitz, and welcome to Successful Farming. On today's program, I head to auction to check out the sale of a low-hour Case IH 260. It's a 2013 model with just 576 hours. Wait till you see what it sells for. And then I feature a great farm hack, a shop invention or make-do. The shark farmer, Rob Sharkey, joins us with his unique view of agriculture that is always refreshing. And after these brief messages, Jesse Scott offers the latest results in our farmer-tested review of UTVs. So please stay tuned.
Welcome to the special product test team edition of the Successful Farming TV show. Our farmer evaluators spent the last 6 months testing the newest side-by-sides from John Deere, Can-Am, and Kubota. In this episode, the farmers share what they loved, liked, and would improve about each machine. First, we head to Paul Heinemann's farm in Ogden, Iowa. Paul, along with his brother and their sons, grows corn and soybeans. They've been trying out the Kubota Sidekick.
Well, we mostly had ATVs. We've got a couple of those, and we've had soil samplers on them and things like that. We did not own a UTV. We're testing this one, and it's a very nice machine. We've done, we pull some of the, around the yard. We haven't pulled anything really down the road very much, but around it, we'll hook onto it with the corn heads or something like that to pull them up to the shop to fix them or clean them or whatever. So they will pull quite a bit. Maintenance on the machine, tilt the box up, the engine's very accessible there. It's a very easy to maintain machine too. It's very solid and very, like when you load it up with some rocks, they get pretty heavy pretty quick. And so it handles the load real well. Suspension works very well on this machine. What I didn't like about the machine is when you first put it in gear and you step on the accelerator, it lunges into gear. And so that's kind of an issue when you're trying to back up and somebody's trying to hook up. Figure out real quick, you got to have 1 foot on the brake and 1 on the accelerator to try and smooth that out. That was probably the biggest thing that I did not care for. The other thing would be, this one has a radio, which is very nice, but it needs, I'm a knob kind of guy on the volume. It's really hard to adjust it with big gloves and stuff when you got to push a little button. So those two things are probably the biggest thing.
Our second group of evaluators was the Baker family in Orangeville, Illinois. We caught up with Mark and Kim Baker to hear how this diversified operation used the John Deere Gator XUV865R.
Well, our farm, we farm with my wife, my 2 boys, Zach and Chad and Kim. We grain farm, we dairy. We do a sideline business, Baker Precision Planter Works. And then something else that we took on this year, we grow hemp for CBD oil. So that's really kind of a slow day for us anyway, but it's exciting, the stuff that we've gotten into. This machine, it's amazing the amount of torque that they have provided us to use. It's a very strong, geared low, not a fast machine, but they say that it's got over 2,000 pounds of pulling power, and I was just amazed by that. Grain head, grain platforms, hay racks. We've done everything with it, and we tried it out, and it's very, very dependable. This cab is very soundproof. It's very tight. You shut the door on that and you really feel like you're in an automobile. It's just very well designed. The creature features of it is very nice.
The best 2 features of it were the air conditioning, of course, which is a must, and I liked the cooler, so you could put beverages in there such as water or pop for the kids or juice boxes. We have an older Gator that doesn't have a cab, doesn't have air, that we use for chores, and this is like the Cadillac.
Dislikes on the machine, I would say it might be just a tad bit under power with the AC on. Going up and down hills with a load, it kind of seems to pull a little bit, so it pulls a little power. And I think the other thing that stands out most is there's no radio. The price of this machine, I mean, when my wife rides with me, I have to sing to her, and she's really getting tired of that.
A radio is available for an extra cost. I think the radio should come with it.
Our final evaluator was James Fred Judd from Rochester, Indiana. James runs a dairy with his father, uncle, and cousin where they've been testing the Can-Am Defender.
We always used to have four-wheelers, ATVs, starting back in the late 90s. More recently, going back to about 2013, that's when I got the first UTV. A list of some of the things that I really liked about the Defender. The shifting, I can shift and know what gear I'm in without having to stare at the dash and find out what gear I'm in. It steers smoothly. It handles rough terrain smooth. The seating is comfortable. Just overall seems more solid and smooth than previous ones that I have operated. Also, something that I did like was the holders for the shovels. That's nice because otherwise you throw a shovel in the back and it's always sliding around, or you got the handle sticking out the side, and the bed is made to accommodate special holders that can hold shovels or rakes or whatever, and so I just keep a shovel on there all the time because you always seem like you need one. Then it's also got the accessory of the rear light that mounts on the back of the cab. That I would never guess that would be so handy, but anytime you got something, you're always operating in the dark, and you flip that on and it's almost as bright as the headlights, and you can see what you're doing in the bed or just simply backing up in the dark. There's several things I found kind of handy on it. One thing was the way that underneath the seat, you can kind of put your feet kind of underneath the seat, where it's got a wall there, and you kind of feel cramped up, but you can feel like you can get in a more comfortable position. I was impressed with the Defender's the seat cushions and stuff. I feel like it gave good back support, and sometimes I can get it in the lower back, so I was impressed that it was very comfortable, even on rough terrain. Overall, the machine is a great machine, and if I had to nitpick on some things, one thing is when I changed engine oil, I noticed that the oil filter is actually a cartridge where you got to take off three screws and to remove that, and it's not so necessarily too hard access, but it's just, I always kind of think of a cartridge as being a little, normally instead of a spin-on, where it's kind of what you're used to, a spin-on, but it's not hard to do at all, and that was just one thing I noticed. Things that might be able to be improved on the Defender would be having RPM readout and engine temperature readout. Those are a couple things that, especially RPM, would sure be nice to have.
We asked each evaluator to rank the machine out of 5 stars, with 5 stars being the highest rating. Here's what they had to say.
Oh, I'd give it a 5-star, probably mostly because of the things I've said. It's just very comfortable, easy to get in and out of, and works well.
I'd have to give this machine a 5. I think John Deere got it well laid out. I like the design of it. The turning radius is amazingly tight for a machine of this size, and so I would have to give it all 5s.
For stars, I think I would give it a 5. The ride, the comforts, everything, but like I said, it needs a radio. That's the only downside of it.
I would give it a 4.5. Just shy of 5, just for there's a few things like the RPM readout and just little things, but overall, it doesn't get. I feel like you can't get too much better than that for the money.
After these brief messages, we watch as a 2013 Magnum 260 with just 576 hours sells at auction. I feature some great grease and oil inventions, so please stay tuned. Welcome to Steel Deals. This is my favorite segment of the show because it allows me to go to auctions. I get to brag that I actually get paid to go to auctions. Now, when I'm searching to showcase iron, I love to look for cherry horsepower. Well cared for, 1 hour, low hour tractors, and that's exactly what we have here. Now, this is a 2013 Magnum 260. It's got rear duals, 4 hydraulic outlets, and a Pro 700 display. Now I'm thinking, this is a 7-year-old tractor, so it's got to have at least 1,000 hours on its tack. Well, might it be over 2,000 hours? Nope, not even close. Believe it or not, this 7-year-old tractor has clocked up just 576 hours of use, and it's in meticulous condition. This is one of those tractors that has suffered significant depreciation due to its age, but is in nearly like new condition. So what would a tractor like this go for in today's marketplace? Let's go talk to Tim Myers of Steffes Auctioneers to get a feel for the marketplace today. We're talking to Tim Myers, Steffes Group, and we're looking at that Magnum 260. It's a 2013, but just has 576 hours. The tractor market was basically depressed since about 2013. We had a large inventory of late model tractors were sitting on dealers' lots, coming to your lot here. We've kind of laundered through those. We haven't sold a whole lot of tractors new since that time. Are we reaching that crossover point where late model, low hour machines like that going to be bringing a premium?
Well, you're hitting the nail on the head, Dave, and what you're saying is that they're not making new, so the used is bringing more and retaining its value. Plus the price of new is continuing to go up. But 13 was a little bit of a threshold, and after 13 they started making less tractors.
Right.
And so that 14, 15, 16 tractors are becoming really rare in the marketplace. But from an hour perspective, a 13 with this low hours, it's basically the same as a 16 or a 17. And what a usable, justifiable tractor on almost any operation, planter, grain cart, even small tillage, that tractor will fit into anybody's farm.
To find something like that in the auction, have you had a lot of interest in it prior to the auction?
We have, and we've got a large red buyer pool that's around us in this area, which makes it a lot more fun. But that tractor could be used on any farm, and there's a lot of folks that are looking at the rubber's good. I mean, the interior's good. It comes from a good home, so I'm really excited about that.
Tim, thanks for that information. Let's watch that Case 260 sell.
109.5, 109,000, 109.5, 109,000, $109.5, 109.5, 109.5, one more time. 110. 110. 111 internet. 110 in the ring. Give me 11. 110. Give me 11. 110. 11. 110. 111 to buy. 110. 111,000. 12. 112. 112. It's a great idea. Keep going. 111. Give me 12. 111 to 12. 111. 112 to buy. 111 to 12. 111. 112 on the stats call. 111. 112 to buy. 111. 112 pound under. 111. 112. 111. 112. Are we done? 111 to 12. 111. 112. This no. Yeah! 113 internet. 113. 113. You got good taste too. Just keep going. 113. 112, 13. 112, 13. Before you can buy them, you gotta find them. 112, 113. It's that nice. 112, 113. Are we done? 112, 13, 112. 113 to buy. 112, 13, 113. Let's call. 112, 13, 14. 114. 113, 14. 113, 14, 113, 114. Tell him thank you on the phone for the help. Sold the tractor, 113,000 internet.
So our low-hour Magnum 260 just bought a final bid of $113,000. How does that compare to asking prices for similar tractors? I ran across a dozen tractors like that one sitting on dealers' lots with prices ranging from $89,000 up to $159,000. But one particular tractor provides the best comparison, and that was a 260, also a 2013 model, with just 600 hours on its tack, with an asking price of $145,000. Today's sale tells me the values on such low-hour tractors are growing stronger. Now, to help you price out equipment, we offer 2 free appraisals from the Authority on Equipment Prices, and that is Iron Solutions. Used by banks, manufacturers, and dealers from across North America, Iron Solutions gathers actual dealer sales and auction prices. To get your 2 free appraisals each month, go to agriculture.com/whatsitworth. For more information about Steffes sales, go to their website at steffesgroup.com. I'll see you again next week on another Steel Deals Report. Have you ever improvised a repair, fashioned a homemade tool, or created a shop get-by or make-do? Then you'll appreciate today's shop hacks. Sometimes refilling fluids in small engines, transmission and gear cases and the like is just really difficult because the fill location is hard to get to. What happens is you use a funnel, and as you're pouring it in, you put too much oil in. Pretty soon you've got fluid or oil all over the device. What I did was create a controlled precision applicator by finding the pop top off the top of a detergent bottle. Or you can do it off of certain drinking bottles, or even off of other devices around the house. You take the cap off, you put that on, and now you have a precision control funnel. Ever try to add engine oil, hydraulic oil, or transmission fluid into an opening that is hard to reach? You may be using a funnel, but that's still not good enough. What you do is you employ a plastic hollow baseball bat. Now, I didn't steal the kid's baseball bat. I found this pretty and pink little baseball bat at the store for just $4. What you do is you cut off both ends and get to work. It sure does minimize spills. We would love to hear about your shop shortcuts, tips, or make-dos. Send us your shop hack. If we use it on the show or in Successful Farming Magazine, we're going to pay you a $200 reward. Send us a detailed description and images to the link below. I'll see you again next time on another shop hack. After these brief messages, Rob Sharkey offers up his unique view on farming.
We in agriculture want people outside of agriculture to know what we do. We want them to be a part of our day-to-day life, and we struggle with how to do that. We struggle because we aren't doing a good job of getting that message out there. Now, we watch movies, we watch TV shows, we watch other occupations getting their story out there to the general public, and it leaves us scratching our head how they're doing it and we aren't. I watch Gold Rush. I've never mined gold in my entire life, but I get caught up in it. I feel like I'm part of that industry because I've spent the last few years following the stories of these guys that are going up there and trying to find gold and get it out of the ground. Farmers love that show because it shows that the people that work hard are succeeding and the people that don't work so hard, maybe not so much. But you also know that the struggles that the gold miners have with regulations and with laws that affect what they're doing. And I have to assume that the mining industry likes that show because it shows the struggles of the miners when they deal with unneeded legislation, unneeded regulations, unneeded people showing up and telling them what they're doing, when they can see right there on camera that what they're doing is safe for the environment. That's our worst fear as farmers. We know we're doing a good job, but we don't want unwanted or unneeded regulations or laws that are going to deter what we're doing. Now, in 1984, a movie came out called Country, and it came out with big Hollywood budgets and big Hollywood actors. They had Jessica Lange, they had Sam Shepard, and it was a hit with agriculture. It was a story about the farm recession of the early 80s. One of the worst recessions we've seen in modern ag history. The reason it reached outside of agriculture was because of this movie. This movie touched people with not just the facts, but the story of how this crisis affected a family. All of a sudden, the depressed farm economy was mainstream. People could understand it because of the story that went along with it. Now, it might not be the way that we in farming want our story to get out there, but it's effective. Recently, a movie came out called Silo. It was about grain entrapment, where a kid got caught inside a grain bin. Here was a producer from New York City, Sam Goldberg, who had heard about grain entrapments and decided to make a movie about it. And after sitting there for 75 minutes, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this is amazing, that finally a movie was taking our story and putting it out to other people. It's different, it's neat, it's something that people in agriculture need to see to be reminded about farm safety. It's something people outside of agriculture need to see to understand what we have to deal with day to day. Now, of course, there's been other movies about ag through the years. You had The River, that had Mel Gibson in it. You had Field of Dreams, of course. That was that guy from Yellowstone. And then you had Babe. That was that pig for some reason that farmer never ate. But the all-time best farming movie ever, Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore, American legend Pauly Shore. If you haven't seen it, go see it, and then you can thank me later. In fact, you can thank me at sharkfarmer.com. To see more stuff like this, go to agriculture.com/TV.
Please join us next week for another outstanding show. I traveled to Illinois to tour a shop created from an older machine shed. Just wait until you see what the unique office the Ford family fashioned from their renovation efforts. And then I head to auction to track the sale of one of the best deals in vehicles today, semi-trucks. I got more shop inventions that I know you're going to enjoy. Next week offering makes unique use of feedlot panels for storage. And then we feature a classic John Deere crawler on Ageless Iron. See you next week right here on Successful Farming. Hi, I'm Dave Mowitz. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit subscribe right here if you haven't already, and click that little bell right here to be notified when we post a new video. And click here to see more great episodes from Successful Farming Television.